£8,000. That's a scam, guaranteed. Scam. Now, this isn't the video I had planned today. I planned to do something outside, but it is peeing down a rain, so I thought it'd be the perfect opportunity to tell you about something that I came across while I was browsing the internet the other day, and that is a brand new tractor or machinery scam that seems to be going around. Now, you may have already heard of different scams that are already out there on the market of the interweb, as it were, where there seems to be, whichever way you look, there's someone trying to scam you out of something. Well, today I'm going to tell you about this new one, but before I thought we'd get to that, I'll tell you about the others that are already out there, which you may or may not well be aware of. And actually, I was on the, should we say, receiving end, not the receiving end of a scam. That sounds like I made money out of it. I was on the blunt end of the scam a few years ago when we had our machinery dealership, where it was sort of more of a common one. I don't know if it's more commonplace now, or it was when someone would ring up a dealership and say they wanted a product. They'd go, oh yeah, no, I'd like this shipped there. And you take the car details down over the phone rather than, should we say, doing it properly online. So you take the car details down, you process the payment, and then you'd ship the goods out, which we'd done. You know, the customer wanted what they wanted. I think it was a Honda tiller rotavator and a Honda battery powered strimmer or something at the time it was. So we sent the goods out, and then lo and behold, a few weeks later, we got a call from the bank saying, oh, we've got this this problem, saying that this person, you've used this person's card in your business and it's not there. So yeah, someone used someone else's credit card to pay for the goods that happened in our dealership. Now, I'd done a video on this a few years ago on our YouTube channel on Machinery Nation, what was then Hayes Machinery when we were a dealer. So cut a long story short, they got the goods, they used someone else's credit card to pay for them. The credit card owner got their money back from their card, but we as a dealer, we were the one who took the card details down over the phone or typed them into the machine over the phone, and then we were the ones who lost out, and I think it was about 650 quid. So not huge money, but enough to make you angry enough to think I've just lost 650 quid. Because when it is a loss, that's 650 quid off your bottom line at the end of the year. You know, as a dealer, it was quite, shall we say, depressing. And another time where we nearly got scammed was where we'd had an email come through to the business when we were a dealer, and they were wanting a chipper. They said, oh, we're looking for some advice on chippers. So emails come through, I just forwarded it through to Josh, who was the sales director at the time. Josh sent them an email saying, look, this chipper or that chipper, here's the prices, blah, 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 you know, all the stuff, done a great job. Sent that off to them, didn't hear anything. About a month later, email comes through saying, oh, sorry for the delay. We're very interested in this chipper. Please, can you send us an invoice and we'll get it paid? That all sounded fine, you know, nothing wrong with that. Until they said they'd sent the money through, and via back, so Josh asked Suzanne to check the payment, but it actually turned out, instead of paying us £2,500, they had paid us £8,000. Now, why would someone pay £8,000? So they had sent a panicky email to Josh saying, oh, my terribly sorry, we've paid the wrong amount into your account. We've paid you our builder's invoice instead of the invoice for the chipper. Can you please refund us the money? Well, it actually turned out that they had gone into the bank and cashed a cheque into one of these deposit machines, which you can actually pay into any bank account. As long as the cheque's valid, you can pay it into any bank account. So they had paid it into ours for £8,000. So it turned out that that cheque wasn't real, but it came into our account and looks like it had cleared, but it actually hadn't. So that it was visible, but hadn't actually cleared. So Susanna picked up on this when it came through to the bank to see, right, what is going on here, which just doesn't make sense. So she rang the bank and they went, no, that's definitely, something's not right here. Otherwise that would have cleared. Found out they'd used this cheque deposit machine to pay it into our account. But obviously it's an absolute load of twaddle, shall we say. So they wanted us to refund them into a, oh, surprise, surprise, different bank account. So they wanted us to do that. Alarm bells rang. We didn't deposit them back. We sent them an email saying, no, this isn't right. And lo and behold, we didn't send them the money. So that was a bit of a lucky escape. And luckily, Suzanne picked up on that before that could have gone horribly wrong. And we'd paid £8,000 or £5,500 back to the wrong person. And they'd have got away with a lot of money. And that would have been even harder to bear. And then last week I was actually looking through Instagram and saw Farmers Weekly had put up a post about another chap being scammed with buying a tractor in France. A guy in his 60s found this advert for, I think it was a John Deere for £30,000 from a French dealership. Thought, brilliant, cool. Done the deal, however that was, I guess, over email. He had then sent the £30,000 over there, and then a friend of his went to go and pick up the tractor from France. Lo and behold, the dealership knew nothing about it. So what actually happened was the cloners, who turned out to be from Panama, had cloned the website in France, or cloned the dealership, should we say, and put a list onto a listing. I think it was Tractor Pool or somewhere like that they put it onto, and advertised this tractor for sale at £30,000. The man thought, well, that seems like a good deal. You know, perhaps the tractor was, you know, in normal terms worth £40,000 or £45,000. Thought, yeah, brilliant, let's do that. Anyway, sent the money to this what he thought was this French dealership. His friend went over to pick it up, and lo and behold, the tractor was not there. The dealership knew nothing about it. Anyway, luckily, with a lot of toing and froing and a lot of huffing and puffing, I think he managed to get the bank to reclaim some of that money. I think he got 22 grand back of it. So obviously still an 8 grand loss, but luckily he got some back, because that would be one major sting if someone got stung for £30,000. But there are so many of these scams around. So for instance, you might see Facebook listings for a tractor that's worth 10,000, but they've got it listed for 3,000. You think, this is brilliant, let's message them. It's not just in tractors or agricultural machinery, but it's also in ground care, it's on construction equipment, it's all over the place, and you see it wherever. Now, there's also stuff on eBay, not quite so often seen these days. There seems to be a little bit more control on there. Facebook, I think, is the worst one. But this leads me on to a brand new one, which I have just witnessed, and it actually involves us. Now, don't worry, we're not the scammers, but they've been using our video content from machinery that we have had in the workshop done up and gone to sell on again, taken the advert little piece where we've sort of done a video for the auction or something like that, and this example was actually a skid steer, which I'm showing you now. So this was on TikTok, I found this, which is where this scammer has used our video of our skid steer we're selling, with Richard, who works for me, driving it, lifting the loader up and down, doing a little pirouette with a skid steer as you would in a skid steer advert, as normal. But they've got £5,000 written on the top of this skid steer. It's £5,000 for sale. And I can't think what they call themselves now off the top of my head, but Sunbeam Machinery or something like that they've called them. It is just, you know, when you first see it, you can see it's a scam, because you go into their profile and they've got some listings in pounds, some listing in euros, some listings in dollars, and there's lots of different machines, videos from the States, videos from here, there and everywhere, mostly skid steers to be fair, but it's, yeah, you can see it's a scam straight away. But it's happening all over the place. It is scary stuff. People advertising using other people's videos, other people's photos. That's what you get on Facebook, is other people's photos being used from dealerships to sell machinery. We've had it used, our pictures used on those sites before as well. So to see it happening on TikTok as well, advertising machinery for sale as if they're a dealership. But all I can say is, if you're looking at machinery or any item, go and have a look at it physically before you part with any money, or get someone you know to check that it is actually, you know, a physical thing, not just some scammer in his bedroom on a computer in, well, Panama by the sounds of it. So there's loads of these different things around. But what I'd like to let you know is, have you had any, you know, have you seen these scams online, on Facebook, on eBay, or other third-party websites, cloned websites perhaps? It happens in the garden machinery world all the time. A few years ago, I knew of a big online dealer who'd had their website cloned, and instead of, I'll use a fake name just for the sake of fun, instead of, should we say, what does everyone do on the internet? They go and try to find the cheapest price. And these scam websites seem to come to the top of the list. So be very careful where you're buying this stuff from. When you're dealing with machinery, you're not dealing with a few quid here and there. You're dealing with bigger money, whether that's 200 quid or whether it's 20 grand. It still hurts everybody's pocket. So make sure the machine is a physical machine. Get someone to go and see it first. Go and have a look at it yourself first. Ask, perhaps even on the worst case scenario, ask for videos or different pictures of the machine to make sure that's right. Because if it's you know, it's a advert for a tractor, they might have not got a picture of the dashboard. So ask for a picture of the dashboard, or if there's something different, ask for a picture of, oh, can I have a look at the top link pinhole? I don't know what it might be, or the mower deck, underneath the deck, somewhere where they haven't thought to take a picture. Because if it's genuine, surely they're just going to go out there and say, yeah, no problem at all, take a picture and send it to you via WhatsApp or email or whatever it might be. Whereas if it's not genuine, they're going to go, oh no, I can't get that picture right now because the tractor's currently at my uncle's house and I don't have access to it. That's a scam, guaranteed. So hopefully this has been useful, and because it's wet, I've done this sort of video instead, and hopefully it's useful to someone out there to stop them getting scammed or make them aware or make their family members aware. It does seem to be, should we say, the older generation, sort of say 50s to 70-year-olds who seem to be getting targeted or not necessarily get fooled for it, but are a lot more trustworthy than the younger generation who sort of, should we say, are a little bit more grown up with the internet and can sense these things. So be vigilant, be careful, don't give anyone your money without doing your due diligence first. Cross your T's and dot your I's, as it were. So yeah, let us know what you think in the comments. Let us know if you've been scammed or nearly been scammed or seen these scams. And hopefully we can eradicate them altogether with hopefully just educating people that they are around. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.